lads, one rock, we don't back up. Scrum down, big chat, turn the mics up. Loose bones, we live the pace up. Rock, rule talk, never made up. Two lads, one rock, that's game on. From the grass to the pot, like stay on.
It's happening, peeps. This is Two Lads One Ruck, and it's just me today as Gareth's away on family holiday. Definitely well deserved. Like, he's been absolutely carrying us for months, to be honest with you, while I was away. So it's about time I've done an episode of my own. I haven't got the normal set up because I had an event I had to go to today for work, so it meant I had to sort of adapt and overcome a little bit, but it's all good. It's what we do. It's what we have to do. I actually want to give a shout out to Rugby Buckets. Like, absolutely love the bloke that does Rugby Buckets. Basically, he gets your like old jerseys and makes them into bucket hats and this, that and the other, and he's pushed on to like make vests, t-shirts and stuff like that. Ex-RAF regiment guy. I remember speaking to him few years back when he decided to commit completely to it and get out of the Royal Air Force. So this ain't like a plug as such, like, or a sponsor or anything like that. It's just, it's rugby and I like what they do, and I think it's good to just spread that kind of like positive vibe and this, that and the other. So shout out to Rugby Bucket. I'm actually wearing this to another event tomorrow, so I thought, why not do a little preview. So a couple of things we're going to go through today. We're going to go through round 3 of the Six Nations Cup, bit of grassroots rugby, Nations Championship. Is it good? Is it bad? Good, talk a little bit about pre-season because it's that time of year, and sort of spin off from there. Also, don't forget to like, subscribe, right, and all that good stuff. The support's been great. You know, me and Gareth do this for fun and this, that and the other, and we really enjoy it. And it's quite weird doing it on my own, sort of getting a little bit of a taste of what he's had to do over the last few months. So hopefully I can carry the fort well enough for him. Yeah, so happy days. So let's get into it. So round 3 of the Nations Cup. So first result was the All Blacks 40 and Ireland 21. I was actually really surprised by this result. Also, sorry, hay fever's absolutely mashing me up today. So if you see my head dip out the shot, right, to blow my nose, honestly, it's been mega killing me today. I don't know, I've been absolutely fine for the last couple of weeks, but all of a sudden, it's just really hit me like a freight train today. But the first game, All Blacks against Ireland, 40 to All Blacks and 21 to Ireland. I was really surprised about the gap, but the All Blacks were playing at Eden Park, I believe, and like they've got like, it's an absolute fortress for them. It just seems to bring a lot out of them, and it really showed. And it goes to show that, you know, playing at home can be a huge advantage. But fair play to the All Blacks, you know, they've made it that way, and it's because of the hard work and dedication and making that into a fortress. It just sort of gives them that edge, you know. But you know, still Ireland putting 21 points on them goes to show that defence wasn't really on the cards of both teams that day. It was just like a crazy game. I thought it was going to be within like 10 of either side. Looking back, you know, I gave the edge to the All Blacks because of the fortress that they've made for themselves. However, you know, you just can't write this Ireland team out, and hopefully, to be fair, I'd like to see them get past the quarters. You know, I know it's been a bit of a thing, you know, with World Cups in Ireland, but I genuinely would like to see them. I was rooting for them last time to get through. You know, this is a very likeable Irish team, and you know, at the end of the day, like, I think they really need to get that monkey off the back and start really pushing through the quarters, because they're definitely good enough, you know, and they've definitely got the talent and they've definitely got the strength in depth with more people coming through. So yeah, so that's the first result. Japan, France. So France won 42-15. Like, France just have too much class for Japan. What I like about the Japanese rugby though is that they just play so quickly. right? And there's no other team that really plays like Japan, and for them, I think their fault is that their style suits other teams at times. You know what I mean? They love playing quickly. They love keeping the ball in play. It's absolutely rapid fire rugby, a bit of Fiji-esque as well. Love an offload. You know what I mean? But like, you can't play like that against France. This France thrives off unstructured rugby, and they, as you can see, they punish you. They absolutely punish you. When I think the more structured you are, Japan will be a nightmare for you. And France can do it all. They're all good all-round team. Got a good pack, got a good line out. They've got an amazing set of fucking backs. Like, it's just like crazy what they have, you know. So, and they've got so many injuries and they're still smashing it, you know. So France were always going to have a bit too much. I wanted it to be closer, but I'm not really too surprised at that result. Australia 57, Italy 10. You know, yet again, like, Italy are that kind of like bogey team now where they can give people a run, you know. But if their discipline falls off early doors, it tends to continue, and I think that's what happened in this game. Like, Australia are very unstructured as well. You know, they're very rugby league and how they attack, using, like, you know, those rugby league heads that are in the on the channel. You know, your lead runners, wedge runners, and you know, their backline looks perfect fit for NRL. You know, and they transfer that code from league to union so well, better than most teams, because rugby league is the number one sport in Australia. So you can see that rugby league DNA in this Australian side. Fiji, Scotland done them 33-17. You know, at half time, I think people were, you know, a bit squeaky bum time if you're Scottish, you know, and but with Fiji again, it's just down to their discipline, you know, and the lack of ability to sort of really defend that, like that driving maul. That seems to be a bit of a problem for Fiji. Like, they're the best team in the world at unstructured rugby. Like, hence why they're sevens masters. Like, they're absolute gurus at in sevens. However, transferring that sevens talent to 15s, you know, you still need that structure in order to play the unstructured. So as soon as you break through the line, the structure's gone. You know, and that's where Fiji thrive. You know, I'll 100% kick the ball for line out every time. Even if I made 15-20 metres, even if I made 5 metres, I'd just kick the ball into touch every time. And you could make up that extra 10 metres probably just through driving, you know what I mean? Because they'll suck people in, they'll give penalties away. And, you know, this Scottish side can do it all as well. Do you know what I mean? Scotland are probably the biggest bogey team in Nations Championship. They can beat anyone on a day, you know, so, but they need to understand that, like, Fiji are no joke, you know, like, they can tip up at any time and really cause problems. So yeah, it's not a surprising result. I'm glad the result was a little bit closer than what I thought, because I don't, you know, I've said plenty of times on the channel before that, like, I really like Fiji, and I know a lot of Fijian boys, and they're such great people to be around, and yeah, but Fiji, their heads of sheds up there that are running their union need to pull the finger out, because they're just scattered across the best leagues, you know, and they just can't get them together. They just can't get them together. And when they do, right, in the last World Cup, that was when they were like, that is probably the best Fijian rugby I've seen, like, easily the best Fijian rugby I've seen. And it was good to see, even though they gave Wales an absolute run full of money, and they actually done us in the World Cup. But, you know, at the end of the day, like, someone's got to lose, you know, and, you know, I don't think anyone would mind losing to the Fijians, because you know I've played against Fijians for a long time, and you definitely hurt a little bit more the day after. South Africa, Wales, 43-0. Like, you know, I had 60, and I hate to say this as a Wales fan, but it was like 37-0 at one point, and I thought, you know what, if it ends at 37-0, I won't be happy, but it'd be like, you know, double World Cup champions, and Wales are still building. But I'm glad Wales played against them, and you know they've done the best, man. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like I could go on the pitch and do better than them. You know, they're all professional players. They as I said on the channel before, you know, made the jump to level 5 from playing level 8, and it was like I was like a rabbit in headlights, you know, and it was really fucking difficult for me to implement my game, because the things that I was doing at level 8 weren't working at level 5 at all. I was getting closed down so quickly and weren't allowed to play, you know. So like, and I sort of feel for Wales in that sense, you know what I mean? Their unions fucking them about, and you know, like I've got out and out respect for every single Welsh player for sticking it out and like understanding that like this is a process. And Steve Tandy, I trust him to get us where we need to be. He needs time. He's proven it to me anyway, you know. So South Africa, just absolute filth. Like, I can't see, like, I think Rassie Erasmus has used 60 players in 3 rounds. That's mental. Like, 60? Nah, can't be 60, surely not. Something like that. It's like 40 or 60. I'll have to fact check that. But like, he used a lot of players, and it just seems like it's not really the same players every round, and it just goes to show the strength in depth. And when he took over that South African side, they were in shambles. Like, they were in a wreck. They were losing to Wales on the regular. They were losing to England on the regular. They were not a team at all, and it goes to show how much Rassie's really rolled them up. And it's clear that he's gone into the pool of South Africa and really worked all the way down, club level, academy. You can tell by the way they're playing, you know. And there's players I've not even heard of playing for South Africa and really putting, really making a name for themselves. And like, it's like the pride of playing for, for South Africa. And like, you can't help but just respect that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what is their weakness? Because I don't fucking know. What is their weakness? Like, power. Like, even the big guys have got great footwork. They can handle the ball. They can do stuff that backs can do. You know what I mean? And then on the flip side, they've got backs that can run over someone as well as do the sexy footwork and give that pass. And you know, it's just, what can you do? They can play structure and they can play unstructured. They can adapt and change around the game on a whim. And I'd love to know the team that's going to beat them, because I don't think the All Blacks have got a chance against them, to be honest with you, in the future. But you know, and to be honest, this was my favourite game of the round, just because of you know, lovely. I'm surprised it took 13 minutes for that to happen. Oh, so it's my favourite game of round 3. Argentina, England 31, Argentina 24. Was it a try? Was it a high tackle? Was he put in touch? Like, you know, there's a lot of things to unfold. However, like, if a player's diving towards the line, right, I'm under the impression, right, that you can hit from the shoulder. It's still in nipple line. What you're supposed to do as a defender is not hit him in the face. He slid up because of momentum. I think it was Tom Curry. What is he supposed to do? And what he done worked, because he's in touch. And that's my opinion. Like, he was in, he got solid hit. Very unlucky for Argentina, but I'm not gonna lie, they had it really coming to him. They were because of all the antics that's happened really about the Argentina-England theme that seems to be happening with the football and in the rugby, you know, even like down to what Argentina are wearing their like the hand of Maradona jersey theme and this, that and the other, and it's just like it's like they're trying to piss the English off, and like there's nothing worse than an England team that's got the backup, you know, and they're gonna dig in for that, and I'm glad England won, to be honest with you. Great game. England nearly let it go away. Like Argentina, they don't bend over and just let it happen. Like, you know what I mean? They're renowned for coming back. You know what I mean? Bollocking at half time. Buff, let's fucking go. Let's have it. So like, I'm really chuffed that England won that. Not gonna lie, controversial opinion, but I don't really fucking care. So that's a bit of the Nations Cup. Gonna get into a little bit of grassroots, like from the Oxfordshire area, because that's where me and Gareth based in Oxfordshire. I think pre-season's going to be really interesting. Yeah, I've been down my local club to watch them twice, and you know, it makes me think what everyone else is doing. You know, and you know, the pre-season's always a tough one, you know. Even when I was playing league, rugby league and union, like when I was playing, that was probably the easiest pre-season because you got to be so fit to play league, and like that's one of the massive differences between rugby league and union. So I used to come from playing the league season, have like 2-3 weeks off, and then I'd go into union pre-season, and it was easy because you just got to be so fit to play league. So you know, tough's tough, but to be fair, I've been asked a few questions to answer about pre-season, and one of them is, what's the toughest pre-season you had? And I think it's every pre-season I've had since I stopped playing rugby league in 2020. When I stopped playing rugby league in 2020 up until last season, I think every single one of them seasons was hard. You know, there's a lot of conditioning. You know, there's a lot of blowing the cobwebs out. I wasn't really used to that because, you know, I've still been touching a rugby ball, so I've still got that intuition, you know, of what I need to do and how I need to do it. But when it's when I was just playing union seasons, they're all tough in their own ways. What's the other question? Pre-season coaching styles, what I like and what approach I liked. Just being aggressive, just get into us. Yeah, like I prefer pre-season games where you have wrong pre-season training. Like if you're just fucking running, right, that's just bullshit. Because like, one, I'm allergic to cardio. Me, that's probably why I'm sneezing so much because I went for a run the other day. And for me, like you have to match that with rugby conditioning. So, you know, go away and do a block of work, like a mini bronco. We used to do at Oxford. You do a mini bronco, right, with exercises in between, and then you'd run to the pitch. They'll tell you where to run, and they're like, right, that this is a scenario. You got 20 minutes left, right? You're defending your line, and you're 5 points down. Go, and you get a decent amount of information, a small block. You're tired, you have to digest it, understand what you need to do with it, and it makes it more realistic, you know. So you basically simulate in the last 20 minutes of a game, which is where games are won or lost, you know. And we've seen it already in the Nation Championship, and I've seen it last season, you know, where teams would just sort of lose their arse, you know. I remember us playing a team last season away. Trying to think which team it is, because there's 3 teams that got very similar kit, so I can think of the kit but I can't think of the team. But we were like 19-7 down at half time, and then we won like 25-19, and we were behind the whole fucking game. Like it was only in the last 10-15 minutes where we really started getting a foot on. That's fitness, right? And that's what fitness does for you. So that's how I would prefer because it's so important that last 10-15. What do I enjoy about pre-season? I just enjoy the challenge. I just enjoyed the challenge, like, you know, because, you know, the game's changed so much in 26 seasons of rugby I did play. Like, pre-seasons when I was 19, they just thrashed you to the inch of your fucking life, you know. it felt like it was very unstructured. I come down here and I was playing level 10, and slowly started working up the leagues, and the highest I got to was level 5. But like, it just felt like it was just like, every time you drop the ball, you're around the post. Every time you're like, you know what I mean? It's like every time you was talking with the coaches talking, you know, you'd run to the post. You just fucking. I just remember being knackered, just constantly knackered, like just begging to have a rugby ball because we, you know. But yeah, that always makes you laugh from way back then. Oh, dip out. Gareth, you're going to have to do some footy edits there because, you know, it's just to be early. I was going every 2 minutes. Funniest memory in pre-season? God. I think anyone that's hanging out is funny. Like, especially when you're dangling and your heart's dropping out your ass. Like, when you see someone more tired than you, there's nothing more funny than that. Or, like, you going back, you're doing like your 5th round, your 6th round, your 7th round, and you just got someone that's in the pure hurt locker, lay down on the back, just feeling sorry for themselves. They've got nothing in them. You know, it's like, I think that's just a classic, like, pre-season, like, funny, really, for me. Yeah. Grassroots rugby pre-season coaching styles. Sort of touched on that already, really. But I think change the question around a little bit rather than coaching styles. It'd be more what styles the teams have. Like, we've had quite a few new players come to the club, and I'm sure that there's definitely been a lot of movement around the league. You know what I mean? Like, you got like Reader that's gone to Whitney, for example, and you know, it doesn't matter how good of a player you are, like, just as well as I did when I come to Oxford, and other players that move like Reader to Whitney, like, he has to learn, and the new players that have come to Oxford, you know, you've got to learn that style, you know, and then you have to be able to implement your game with that style. And, you know, that's its own coaching of its own, really. Do you know what I mean? Like, you have to have the rugby intelligence in order to go, right, this is the shape, this is what we look like, this is what this is the coach's intent, this is like the DOR's main effort and all that good stuff, like, you know what I mean? And you have to be able to sort of say so what in your head. And what I mean by that is that, like, if they're saying, I don't know, you're doing like you want to split your pod in 2 sides of the pitch, so what? So the so what of that is that we have a very even split across the field, and or you can do like a 1-3-3-1 shape with the forwards, or the so what. So what of that is fucking, you've got 2 fucking forwards on the width that have got a good amount of pace that can clear a line out if the winger takes it in, and you've also got your muscle in the middle. So there's loads of different shapes in this and stuff that you can do. I used the so what factor a lot last season, when it was like, if you're not the ball on, so what? You have to, like, the so what that is that you have to be able to change your mindset. Right, I'm on D now. Now I have to really fucking put a shift in for my mistake, right? So I'm going to be fucking flying at everyone and trying to redeem myself. Do you know what I mean? They score a try, so what, right? At the end of the day, they let's say they got round the edge, right? We pushed as hard as we couldn't push any harder. They managed to get round the edge, score a try, but we pushed them into the corner. Happy days, let's fucking get back at them. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, the so what factor is something I use a lot, and you know, and for me, D is everything. Like, you gotta want to enjoy defence, man. Like, defence is half of fucking rugby. You know what I mean? Like, you got to bang people. You got to get stuck into people. You got to get narky. You got to get in people's edge. You got to fucking hit them. You know what I mean? You got to be aggressive. These are all the things that are really important in D. And D's like defence is just like pride. It's just pure pride. You know what I mean? And what I mean about wanting to defend is that you can't attack without defending. You gotta, if your defence is good, you'll attack more. That fucking simple. Do you know what I mean? And, you know, at the end of the day, the aim of the game is to score more points than them. And just to finish off, go back to the Nations Champ. Is it good or is it bad? What I think is absolutely brilliant. I love it as a fan. You know, I think it over time will create that kind of gap we have between the northern and southern hemisphere a bit smaller, and these teams like Wales, to be honest with you, Wales, Italy, Japan, Fiji, like them small teams in the sense of like lower on the rankings, like it's more exposures against better teams on the regular, and that's what rugby needs. But on the flip side, to play devil's advocate, like I think it's fucking horrible for the players. Like, you think about it, you've played a whole fucking season, right? You get a few months off, if that, and then you're straight back into the longest pre-season of your life, really. And then you go back and play club rugby. You know, I know a lot of players are on certain contracts that can only play a certain amount of international games with rah, which I think is a good idea. You know, at the end of the day, like, you know, you got to look after the players as well, you know what I mean, and look after the heads and look after the bodies and this and the other, because we want to keep watching them play. And like, as a fan, like, it's great. Do you know what I mean? You're watching more rugby, aren't you? So like, you know, from a selfish point of view, it's fantastic. But I do think what the players must think and feel. Obviously, the players want to play and they want to play for the country and this and that. And you know, they've earned that privilege by putting themselves in the position and being good enough in that position in order to fucking represent their country. Do you know what I mean? And hats off to them. You know, but. Yeah, reasonably quick episode, you know, 27 minutes so far, so we should give all the love and all the praise to the Wyatt family. You know, they're a really good bunch, they're a funny family, like, I love being around them, they're just great, you know. They're such contrasting characters, and they go to Cornwall every year, so it's good to see them having a good time down south. Gareth, I'm giving you some great editing time here, bro. I'll be really disappointed if you don't add some stuff in there. But yes, to summarise, really looking forward to pre-season. Hopefully I'll be able to get round a couple of clubs. I don't know if there's any pre-season games tomorrow. Currently it's Friday, 2:15, so hopefully there's some pre-season games tomorrow before I go to my event that starts about 4 or 5 o'clock. So it'd be nice to go down and watch a game, and get in amongst the people and have a good crack. Yeah, happy days. Thank you for listening. Sorry that it's very plain and this, that and the other, you know, dropped the ball. I actually forgot the sign. I've left it in my garage, so that's on me. Right, I'm sure I'll Gareth a point for that. And yeah, don't forget to like, subscribe, put your input in, get into the comments box, speak to us on Insta. We get quite a few people that speak to us on Instagram, which is great. Get involved in our TikToks and this and the other. We've had one that's blown up recently. Don't know how, but fair play. And yeah, 2 lads, 1 rook.